Yeah, you know, you're right.
I swear it wasn't me.
And at one point, I'd actually thought about it. So I'm not entirely sure. I do like the Rode, but I'm not sure I love the Rode. And the reason I swapped from that Zencaster to the Rode was the headphones off the Zencaster. It's so hard for me to get a good volume level there, and you know, it's just irritating me. I thought, well, it's been a minute. I played with this for a while. I was going to see which one worked better for me. Then it worked out just to hand you that board. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Always move forward. It's really a better way to do things. So, I've learned a lot about my Rodecaster and some of the stuff that I do with it. So I should sound actually a whole lot better tonight and on the recording because I got a bunch more of my soundproofing up, but I tweaked the board a lot. But you were saying something, sir.
Okay. Are you gonna?
Okay, I'll turn it off in a second. I'm going to turn it off. But yeah, oh my God, I had a nightmare that my head was on the shelf. Oh my God, it's real! It's real! I love it.
Oh man!
Congratulations, you purchased the 1 in a million Deadpool head with a solid gold bar inside. Warning: opening your Deadpool head will void its warranty.
All right. So what did you realize?
No, this board provides a lot more gain than my other board, so I should have a much fuller sound coming through.
Thanks. Honestly, it's been 2 weeks since we talked. Like, so I'm not going, oh my God. So but it probably does sound better. So I got lights on my boxes. I've ordered something that should be coming sometime next week to go behind there. But also have some up lights at the other house that I'm going to start setting up to go up the wall and go up the thing behind me. Got my camera set to where, come on, zoom in. Zoom in. Stupid camera. It's not doing it. But it's supposed to like zoom and stupid camera. But yeah, I'm gonna do some, I guess, more. Yeah, I was right on this one. Okay, all right. I took your spot.
On Spotify, we had people that were answering the question.
Oh, that is not the story, sir. All right, we'll put it for the second episode we're recording tonight. If I sent you a TikTok of Daddy tell me a story that I'm going to ask you about. So we'll put on the next one record.
We could talk about that one too.
Oh, sorry, I clicked on something.
Well, we should probably do 2 recordings tonight anyway. So.
Oh yeah. We're out after last week. Yeah, you gotta pick the bad dad joke. I just couldn't do it, man. Couldn't do
it. All right. I'll get you a good one.
I mean, that's kind of impossible. But
then it's not a dad joke if it's good.
All right, so tonight, instead of the dice, because it's raining outside, I don't feel like going back across the yard to get it. I'm just going to use my own dice, and we're going to go evens and odds. So hot gravy's even, and toasty's odds, right? All right. Hot gravy.
He was calling you out for having rigged rolls of the dice, I guess this time. But
you didn't hear the intro going, huh?
Nope.
Oh, you're going to fix something, buddy, because you can't hear the music. But here it go. All right, before I do that, let me make sure on my settings it's got the right thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you sure it's on my end?
No, it's on the stupid camera.
Why did you tell me I sounded dumb, Joe?
You did sound super dumb. And now I
But
can hear
you didn't
myself.
tell me I sound super dumb. Well, you'll get over here. You won't hear yourself for long.
No.
Get ready to laugh out loud with Wise and Nerdy, the show hosted by two hilarious dads who are bringing their unique blend of wit, wisdom, and nerdiness to the airwaves. From sharing hilarious anecdotes about their own experiences to giving advice on navigating the ups and downs of life, these two dads have got you covered. But that's not all. They're also obsessed with all things nerdy, from comic books and sci-fi movies to video and board games. So whether you're a fellow dad, a pop culture fanatic, or just in need of a good laugh, tune in to Wise and Nerdy and join in the fun.
Man, that's a really long intro, Hot Gravy. You'd think you'd let us have some showtime on our own show, man. Seriously.
Yeah. What a jerk.
What a jerk face. Guess what, though?
I can hear myself coming through.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? I listen to you all day long. I don't complain about it, Joe. I don't complain about having to listen to you.
I'm sorry that you're... What a jerk.
Is it now? I changed it. Is it still bothering you, sir?
No, I can't hear myself anymore.
All right. Now, can we do a show? Can I please do a show?
I'm sorry, but I don't want my voice coming through you in my head. I just want my own voices in my head. Okay. I'm glad we got that established.
You know what we didn't establish? The question of the week.
Oh, really? And why didn't you do that? No, didn't you put a question on Spotify? Or was that the question?
No, that was the question from before. That was the question.
What's the worst thing you did as a kid?
No, it was the fantasy. That was the fantasy weapons one. Was the one we released last week.
Oh, okay. That was a good one. I've got it. You ready?
You got one? Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Yep. What is your favorite childhood movie or show?
Sesame Street, hands down. Yes, Sesame Street and Godzilla, and they go hand in hand, and I'll tell you why. I know it seems odd, right? That Sesame Street goes hand in hand with Godzilla, but it really does. It really does. It's because growing up, right, very limited TV. I don't mean options, which was also true, but in my household, on the TV for as long as I can remember, and quite possibly is still on my parents' TV stands. Of course, they've gone to flat screens like the whole world has, but there was a hand cross-stitched little saying that's like, trash in, trash out, essentially trying to tell us about what we take in our little eyes comes out in our lives. And that's what I say about that. But so limited TV. However, if it's educational, I could watch it. And then I had like 2 hours in the afternoon, and that got extended because originally I was supposed to have about an hour of educational, some kind of TV I could watch in the morning, and then an hour in the afternoon, or combined like 2 hours total for the day. And this is especially during the summertime. And then I had to be outside or do something for the rest of the day. I got special dispensation because I loved Sesame Street. So I got to watch that in the morning. That was almost a good hour. I got to cheat a little bit, watch the Muppet Show with my father before he left for work. If I got up early enough, we'd watch it while eating breakfast. For some reason, that's when it was on. Reruns, we could watch it together. But yeah, I got to watch Sesame Street. So loved it. We could talk about that all day long. I mean, it's amazing. But the specialty, here's where Godzilla comes in, right? Now, Godzilla is like right here over my head, by the way. That's a Godzilla marathon medal right there hanging all that. I didn't walk it, I just bought it. But still, it's really cool. But in the afternoon, TBS, right? TBE, TNT, TBS. It was TBS. Do you remember Turner Broadcasting when it first came out, Joe? Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
So we had the big three at first, right? CBS, ABC, NBC. Then Fox came along, and yes, now it's Fox News and all this, but still the Fox that we know that sold all the X-Men back to Marvel, they came along, and then this challenger came out of nowhere, Ted Turner in Atlanta, right? TBS. And every afternoon they'd have, I forget what they call it. It's like the Monster Matinee during the summertime. And at 1 p.m. every single day, they put on a monster movie. And I saw every last Godzilla film just each day, back to back for like 2 weeks. And because it was Godzilla, because it was the original Godzillas, and yes, I am a nerd. Thank you for yelling at me in my own chat, Joe. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But I got special, I asked for and got special timing, so I got to watch 3 hours of TV. But that's my story about why it's my favorite. Godzilla, the OG Godzilla is the best, and the new Godzillas. Oh my God, they got another one coming out. Godzilla and King Kong. It's not versus. That was the last one. Oh, but the next one's so good. Anyway, what is your favorite childhood movie or show?
Ooh. So when I was probably about 4, my favorite movie at that time was Man from Snowy River. Which is kind of a weird throwback, but
is that a movie? Yeah. It's a movie. It is a movie. It is a movie because there's a TV show that kind of reminds me of that called 5 Mile Creek. I think it is. It's an Australian one. So sorry, but yeah, Man from Snowy River was really good.
Yeah, and I used to just be in love with little toy horse figures and whatnot. But outside of movies, and when I think about like cartoons that I would watch when I was younger, obviously there's like you mentioned Fox, the Fox Spider-Man, the Fox X-Men. Those were awesome, and I would run home after school to get home in time to catch those. But before school is where it was at with Gargoyles.
Oh, you were so young.
Was fantastic.
Was that see in my area? I want to say it was an afternoon show. Like you get home. Well, I didn't go to school, right? I did homeschool, but theoretically, time-wise, you get home from school, and in the afternoons would have the Gargoyles. It would have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman, not Beyond, the best Batman, the animated series, Batman animated series. So yours was in the morning, huh? You saw Gargoyles in the morning.
Yep. And actually, depending on what time I woke up, if I woke up super early on a Sunday, there was the Street Fighter cartoon that I used to watch. And then sometimes at like 5 a.m, I could watch the Mario cartoon. But yeah, Ninja Turtles was also amazing. I had my sixth birthday was a Ninja Turtles birthday. So, that's pretty awesome as well. But I mean, Gargoyles, it was
I don't understand. You
so
had
good
birthday parties when you were 6?
Yeah.
Huh.
You didn't have birthday parties?
No, true story. Legit. Did not have a birthday party till I was 6 because my mom just thought, oh, you won't spoil him until I went to a friend's birthday party. It was like, what is this? And so I had a birthday party at 6, 12, and then 16. I just had a whole bunch of friends come over and play Street Fighter all night.
Yeah, see, I never had like a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party or anything like that.
Yeah,
I had friends come over. We'd jump on my trampoline and just have fun. And when I got a little bit older, occasionally I'd have a couple people stay the night, and we just play games super late and then wake up early and continue playing games. But yeah, just real basic and fun.
Well, I mean, it's still pretty cool. I like it, but you had themed parties. I don't. I'm not trying to get into like sad sack stories. I was just gonna be funny, but I mean it's true. But yeah, the best party I ever had was I think 15, 16, where I had all my buddies. Brad the Blind, who you'll get to meet personally this year. You might have kind of met him the first year he came to Dragon Con. He hadn't been back since, but he's coming. He and I. We were young preteens together.
The name sounds familiar. I don't know if I met him, but
I've referenced him. And I love how you're not a Mario bro today. But
we'll get into that in a little bit. Why I'm not a Mario bro? Oh, all right.
Wait. You
want to know what time?
Question of the week.
We already did that.
Yeah, Kurt, get it together.
Roll that dice.
All righty. You ready? You ready for me to roll the dice? Are you ready?
Oh my God! That took like 30 seconds to even set up the clip.
Number
and then you were like,
4.
Oh, yeah, you get. Oh, you drive me crazy. You drive me crazy. That you got me so twisted now. I'm not even sure what button to hit.
Can you dig it?
So everybody, Joe's got a new toy. I love it. And what's funny is he can't even hear those voices because he just knows what the preset is. He doesn't have his stuff set up, but he's got the Go XLR that has left my studio and went to somebody else's studio for a while. Now it's circled back in to the Bear Crawling Studios family here. And yeah, Joe, it's a fun thing. So I like the radio voice you did there. So can you dig? I was setting up our next notes. So let me get back to these notes here. What's the can you dig it that we have?
The can you dig it is do aliens exist?
All right, man. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? I don't mean old Mormon Xenu. I mean like real aliens.
So it would be ridiculously prideful to not assume that aliens exist. That we are the only planet that has sustained life with the billions and billions of planets out there that we can see with our techno. I mean, granted, it's only been within the past 20, 30 years where they've really seen crazy far out and been able to identify like Earth planets that they think would be capable of sustaining life. I think the real question though is, have aliens visited Earth? I guarantee. Well, I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb not to assume that alien life is out there. The question in my mind, like I said, is have they visited Earth?
I mean, yeah, Daddy.
I haven't actually watched the news coverage, but apparently, I've seen a whole bunch of clickbait stuff saying that the government claimed there were aliens.
All right. Like I said, so let me get to that. Okay. So, of course, I was on top of it. I love Ancient Aliens. The show on History Channel. They bring up some really good points. I mean, it brings up some really interesting things. I also love the there's something about mud. I can't remember, but basically how, like, if you go and dig down beneath, like there's even places in Boston that there's this church, and once you dig down, you realize there's a whole nother building underneath it. And so, and there's this theory that civilization had built up, and then a huge thing happened, and mudslides, or maybe even the Great Flood, whatever. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, but I love all these ideas of how civilization is just circular. Yeah, it builds up, something happens either naturally or possibly creature made, human made, whatever, and life just kind of cycles back. It kind of makes sense. We talked about how you liked Revolution, I believe it was called.
Yep.
Yeah, which is the idea of well, when the things that we rely on, right, to keep historical records for us go away, it goes back to telling stories. And we have stories of the ancient gods. We have stories of Atlantis, which we believe might be in Egypt. There's a thing there. Anyway, I love all that stuff. And I'm with you. When I was young, grew up in the church, right? So all about Jesus saves and this and that and the other. And I went, why would God create this massive universe with easily millions of stars and planets and other things out there, whatever, to us being the only thing alive in the whole entire? Why would you do that? I mean, Jesus didn't waste words, so why would he waste space? You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you there. Now, the government thing is this. As of right now in the United States, this is first part of August in 2023. And yes, there are congressional hearings going on. Here is the setup. The man testifying is supposedly a whistleblower. Okay. Now, these are official hearings. The hearings are real, 100%. And the whistleblower does come from a verified background of working in the military and working on classified things. And I'm not entirely sure of what else, but there's those credentials that the story is right now. Homie came up to the military, worked on a bunch of classified stuff, rather. You did all this stuff. I don't know what made him blow the whistle, and it cost him his career. But now he's actually somehow gotten the ear of Congress, and of course, C-SPAN 8 or whatever it is, and all the clickbait headlines. And he is testifying that yes, I guess he has some evidence. I really don't know. I haven't seen enough of it, done enough research. But yes, alien. We've gotten wreckage. Honestly, within a few years ago, the government started saying UAF, unidentified. It's I can't remember. It's not UAF. They don't call it UFO anymore, but it is an unidentified object. But I forget what the title is. I see you looking it up.
Yeah, UAP, apparently unidentified aerial phenomena.
There you go, phenomenon. Yeah. So, and then they started saying, okay, there's just stuff we can't explain. Within the last couple of years, the government started going, yeah, okay, we're going to stop fighting it. There's stuff we can't explain. But they didn't come out then and say, yeah, we got Roswell. This guy is testifying that essentially, yes, we have recovered crafts that are not made by humans of this earth that they know of. For this is what they believe. And yes, organic beings were recovered with it. And that's about as far as it's gone. I've only seen some clips. Again, I haven't done all the research, but no, the official president / Pentagon / general / Congress / whatever it would be, the official, we are the government and here's what's actually happening. That has not been the case. It is a hearing, and who knows where it's going to go. But I love what the bigger reaction to it is, Joe. The bigger reaction to all of it is, who cares? And they're not saying like, oh, you're stupid about aliens. They're saying the best thing is like, yeah, aliens exist. Yeah, who cares? When are you going to do something about the big national debt? When are you going to lower college debt? When are you going to bring health care to those who need it? Aliens exist. Yeah, shut up, man. And I agree with that sentiment that whether truly, because again, governments hide things, and I'm with you. Have they visited Earth? I kind of think we're the aliens, but that's a whole nother theory. You could ask me about that, and Daddy, tell me the story at some point, because 100% I'm starting to believe that we are the alien life to this planet. But
Scientology.
Is that what Scientologists believe?
I don't know if it's real or if it's just what people have told me, that humans were brought here by another alien species or something like that. I don't know if that's true Scientology, but that's what I heard.
Don't think I messed up the name, but isn't that in the Book of Mormon about Xenu and the planet? And
no. So with our church, with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, commonly referred to as Mormons, we do believe that Jesus, his atonement, his sacrifice, is an infinite one, and it applies to more than just our planet.
Okay, that's cool. I dig that.
So that it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit extrapolated that he died here for the sins of all creation, all of God's creation, including any potential life on other planets.
You know why we don't know about aliens? Because they sent somebody to come check us out, and we put him on a cross and killed him. So I'm just saying. They sent their ambassador, and we like.
I have heard people theorize that the reason Jesus came to Earth rather than a different planet, assuming that there are other planets with intelligent and human life, was because we were the only planet wicked enough to kill the Son of God.
Look, I've had a second theory that's a little sideways to that. And I was going to make a joke about, isn't there a religion that believes that somebody, I was going to make up, you talk about superpowers and alien things and flying, and then they were going to come back. No, that's just Baptist Church. But I'll side by that joke. But talking about this, and this is a theory that I've kind of had, and theories are just an interesting thought process, right? We're the prison planet of the universe. Why do you think aliens don't blatantly visit us? It's the same reason you don't just go wandering through the outback of Australia, because it's designed to kill you. And what if our species was the infestation? I know there's going to be bugs in this planet we compare to that is it just killed locusts. Like we were the locusts. We just kill everything. Because what do? We kill everything. We even kill ourselves. We're the only species on this planet that kills itself. Period.
Like that one universe in Jet Li's The One.
Yeah, the pyramid universe. Yes.
The prison,
Yeah.
the prison universe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my theory is that our species was sectioned off this planet. All the other planets, even anywhere near us, are dead planets. And it's just a big warning sign to the rest of the universe. Don't go there. They got giant spiders and they kill each other. So yeah. All right. But it looks like both of us are kind of on the same page. I can dig the aliens, man. And honestly, we kind of need that right now as a world, not just our society and the crap that goes on in America, but wouldn't that just put things in perspective, right? Other different life. First, kind of like when any bad tragedy happens, the world will band together. But then it'll be like, we kind of suck. That's just my opinion. So roll that dice.
Number 3.
Oh my god. That's not what I want.
Bad dad.
No, that's not it, Kurt.
Let daddy decide.
All right. So this is just we have a list on one of our tabs. It's just like funny, controversial things. So Joe, here's what we got to debate on tonight. There's no point in eating French fries without ketchup.
False.
We locked up for a second.
I'm not saying that you should eat French fries plain, but there's plenty of other things besides ketchup that you could put on French fries.
Okay, like what?
Like poutine. That's super
This
good.
is a family-friendly show, man. Come on, clean it up. Clean it up.
By golly, it's just with
golly.
By golly, with gravy and cheese curds. That's what. Anyway, so there's that. I mean, I know plenty of people that dip it in quote unquote fry sauce. That's kind of a Western United States thing where it's basically ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together.
And you can actually buy that in the store now called Mayo Chup.
Mayo Chup.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really, really like Red Robin's campfire sauce.
Oh, you mentioned that before, yeah.
It's basically barbecue sauce and mayonnaise mixed together is basically what it is. Yeah, that's
so I used to make
super
my own
good.
concoction. Now I'm with you. There and actually that's not true either. There are some French fries in this world that are just plain good. They're not consistent, so I can't be like, oh, I like this brand of fries. It's not consistent, right? But sometimes you just get them where they're really crispy and they're just got the right either batter or seasoning or flavoring to the potato before it got fried or whatever. There's definitely some fries that you can eat without sauce. Yeah, dipping them in cheese, chili cheese, dude. Chili cheese tater tots. Let me tell you, baby.
Sweet potato fries with sugar and cinnamon, rolled in sugar and cinnamon, so good.
I don't do sweet potatoes. I can see what you're saying. So I don't do sweet potatoes at all.
In general, I don't care for sweet potatoes unless it's, well, basically it's a sweetened version, like an even sweeter version of sweet potatoes, like yams or something like that. But
I thought they were the same thing.
Well, usually when people think yams, they think of at least I think, maybe it's just my misconception. Maybe it's not just people in general. Maybe it's on me. But I think of the dish that I have at Thanksgiving, where it's basically mashed sweet potatoes with
sweet potato souffle,
a whole bunch of, well, I mean, kind of, with a whole bunch of brown
marshmallows on top.
Yep, with brown sugar and all that. Yeah.
Get a bar cup of sugar. I get that.
Diabetes mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I don't eat. I it's the consistency, it's the texture, it's the flavor. I hate everything about sweet potatoes. Just no. But I get it. If you like it, then the butter and the cinnamon, sure. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's no just ketchup. It depends. Like I go to Five Guys. I don't use it. Now I'm a Dutch kind of guy. I love mayonnaise with my fries. I like just pouring it out, on the plate or whatever and just dipping. But at Five Guys, it's their fries and ketchup. It just tastes really good. I like good hash browns like Waffle House, and I'll get ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise. Tater tots I can eat by themselves. I like a good barbecue dip. I like mixing my own, like
Tater
taking
tot.
ranch and
So good.
Taco Bell fire sauce. Yeah, mixing Taco Bell fire sauce and ranch together. That's pretty good too.
Anyone who goes to Five Guys and gets any size of fries besides small is dumb, in my opinion. Just gonna call them out because
So
they dump so many extra fries in there. The small is where it's at, and you can ask them to bag it in a set. You if you really want even more fries, tell them to put it in a separate bag, and you'll get just a little bit more fries even.
Interesting. Now, here's why Joe says that, because just like Joe to set up a story and then not tell it. Uh, you go to Five Guys, they have a small, they might have a medium. I know they have a large. I think they do have a small, medium, large. And you would think, oh, I did it the first time I ever went. I did it. Right. I thought, oh, this is like Wendy's somewhere. I'll get a large fry. No, it's a huge, large cup, a 20-ounce cup chock full of fries that I don't know if they dump the whole thing in, but they dump a lot in and then they fill up the cup and put the cup in. So you get a double order of whatever size, pretty much. And then I guess if you ask them to bag it separately, you even get more fries with that. Hugh, one of our traditions when he comes, every time he comes to visit, when I want to go to take him to the airport, we hit a Five Guys. We have our favorite Five Guys that we go to downtown Atlanta on the way to the airport, and we'll always eat, but we'll order his burger and my burger and a medium fry, and we'll split that. So it's you're right, Joe. There's a lot there. What's the worst French fry?
Oh, that is a great question. Like worst restaurant or just worst style of I guess potatoes?
Whatever came to mind first.
I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I hate McDonald's fries. I don't care for them.
Interesting. I'll say most fast food fries are dog poop, mostly because nowadays, in order to turn things around faster, I mean, not in the last decade or two, it's probably been 20 years since I worked in fast food, but it used to be you cook fries 2 minutes 45 seconds to 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and they come. And you can even ask if you went to like McDonald's and say, "Hey, I'd like a large fry. Can you make them extra crispy?" They'll drop them in for another 30 seconds to a minute, right? And now it's just turn around. This is before COVID. It became turn around. And you're talking about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, cutting a whole minute of cook time off. Did they turn up the heat? No, they did not. Not enough, because I hate mushy fries. I hate them. So McDonald's, when they're crisp and salted correctly, I do enjoy them. But most fast food, I mean, Arby's will go with the curly fry because it's hard to mess that up, right? But even then, it's like this almost mushy potato. So I don't like I don't like a lot of them. I'll take my chances sometimes. But it's gotten to the point, Joe, where I'll go, what's the alternative? Like at Chick-fil-A, I do enjoy a good waffle fry, but for the most part, Chick-fil-A, I'll order the little side salad or the soup or something else because nobody cooks their fries anymore. I don't dig it. Not at all. And I had something else I was going to throw at you, but I've already forgotten what that is. On the potato fries family, but
tots are where it's at.
Tots are always where it's at. 2 turntables and a tot. I don't know. All right, what's next, Joe? What's next?
Are you asking me to roll the dice?
I am not asking you to roll the dice. Kurt is.
Roll that dice.
Number 5.
All right, it is time for the commercial dance party.
Stay tuned for this commercial break. It's about time you called your dad.
Kurt, come on, man. wiseandnerdy.com/call-dad. I gotta fix these. Apparently I messed these up. Let's see if this does it.
Donate to your daddy. Patreon.com/wiseandnerdy.
Oh, this goes out to Casey in Australia. Oh, yeah. I'm digging the dance bars. Joe had to get up and go turn on his lights to show how much better he was than me. He's got good up lights. And okay, so you remember my box, my tower setup in the old studio, right?
Oh yeah,
And it looked
it was
really
real
good.
nice.
And that kind of fell apart when I moved. And here are the lights from that setup. These are better lights because I was like, well, I don't know where the plugs are. I'm sure I've got a couple boxes in the other barn I still need to pull out, go through a bunch of collectibles, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a little addicted to Temu right now. It is so easy to go down that rabbit hole every time you turn around. Like my daughter wanted to shave her head. She just wanted to. And so we let her. And she likes it, but especially going to see drag queens and stuff, she wants to do wigs and whatnot.
Which daughter?
Zoe, the youngest
okay.
one. I mean, she's had half shaved heads before, and I've got some great pictures over that. And she's like, I just want to cut it. Sure. And so I was like, well, let's go to Temu because everything's cheap on there. I'm not going to buy her real fancy wigs to play with and lose. Because she's had some wigs that were all, play level wigs that she's lost. So we got on there, started getting like a $2 wig and a $3 wig. Next thing I know, we're ordered $60 worth of stuff. So I threw on, these are little $6 LEDs that work off a little USB plug. So they're not as bright as I like. They definitely, that's white behind me. And you can tell it is not white behind me. It's like white, green, blue, and red. It's cheap. It's cheap, but it's fun. So what I say all that and say is Joe didn't even need to get up to turn on his backlights to look better. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Hey,
I forgot to turn them on tonight. I had to turn them on.
Yeah, sure. You waited. I know you. But I got you a little special prize.
Ooh.
You want your prize, buddy?
Yeah.
You want your prize, buddy? You remember your good old cousin Silly Villian?
Yes.
Here, cousin Silly Villian.
This is cousin Mike here with a quick tech tip about mesh networks. When setting up a mesh node system, as they're called, you want to make sure that you plug in each one with a connection, a data connection back to the router. This will use what is called a physical backhaul connection instead of a wireless backhaul connection. The reason for this is each node will reserve some of its Wi-Fi frequency or potential to do the data connection if not plugged in, and will give you slower speeds. So that's a little trick to get better speeds on a mesh node system if that's what you're running. Also, make sure to turn off your previous Wi-Fi on your internet service provider's router / modem Frankenbox abomination.
You had it, man. You lost it.
Anyways, love the new show. Have had such a great time listening to it in the past couple of months here, and excited to see where it goes from here. Thanks for being our dads, and I'll see y'all next time. This has been Cousin Mike.
I'm proud of you, cousin Mike. That was good. That's good. So here's another suggestion about that. Come to my house in Georgia and wire it for me. I would really appreciate that. Thank you. Good night. But that makes sense. Now I will say the mesh network that I got, the Orbi, I did some research on it, and I know wiring everything is the best way to do it. And it turns out it's not going to be that expensive, but it probably still won't happen this calendar year because I got some other things I need to knock out first. But this specific one is, I forget, it's an Orbi and they have different styles, but this one is supposed to have 3 channels, 2.4 gigahertz to 5 gigahertz for the Wi-Fi, but then its own back channel to do that connection. Now, yeah, I'm sure it's slower because it's Wi-Fi by nature, but I did try to get something a little bit faster, even if it is on the Wi-Fi back end. But that's some good advice. And he had called it in before last week's show, and then I hit up Joe. I'm like, yeah, I got stuff to do, man. I'm tired. Sorry. So
I think we have another speak pipe too, don't we?
I'll go checking in, but that's the only one I saw.
I was told that there was, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought there was an anime recommendation for you that was coming in as the call.
You know what? Maybe it's on the email. Maybe they forgot to do it.
I didn't see anything come through in the email, but
and our email. You know what? Our email is now wnnShow@gmail.com, and email us there to not get on the show because I forget to check it.
I check it. I check it.
Good, thank you.
I actually have access to this email, unlike our last one.
Yeah.
Which I had access, then lost access, then had access, then lost access to.
Well, that's why we went with Gmail this time instead of a self-hosted thing.
Yeah, so, it's better anyway.
Yeah, I'm on the speak pipe right now. I just have cousin Mike from 1 week ago.
All right. Well, then I must have misunderstood.
Roll that dice.
We've already had that one. Number 2.
Who does number 2 work for? Nothing? Nobody? All right.
Number 2 works for Dr. Evil.
I know it works for. It's fine. It's fine. It's just...
Is it BS?
It is. Working with Joe really kind of is, but we can't talk about that.
Okay.
Where's the stupid button? Oh,
let that.
Nope, that's not it. Dang it, Joe! I can't find. There it is.
Daddy, tell me a story.
All right, Joe. I came across this video on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, I've got to ask Joe about this." And because I understand how the world works, and it's very clickbaity, and it loves to take something that a lot of people universally misunderstand and then just throw crap at it. Right. So it's a video, and I texted it right to Joe. It's like, "Oh, you're going to tell me a story, Daddy. You're telling me a story on Thursday night." And it says, I think I'm getting this right. Mormon tabernacles burn their furniture. And of course, it went on to show this picture of this trailer full of kind of nice looking furniture. And he threw out a lot of big zero prices behind it. Like, that's $3,000. Okay. Show me links, whatever. So that's not really what I'm asking you about, Joe. I'm not asking you if they burn money. It's $3,000 furniture. Although if it is, I definitely want to hear about it. But I'm asking you, Joe, what is up with that video? Do Mormon churches, tabernacles, whatever that specialty, I don't know if whatever that was. You saw the video, right? You watched the video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So based on what he was accusing or saying the church says, do they do that?
I don't know, but to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Why would you think they would do? If you wouldn't be surprised, why would you think they burn? Now, what? Okay, set up the reference. Explain the reference. Is the tabernacle a very special place?
It's the temples, is what it is. And,
okay, temples. Sorry.
And yes, when they are first built, they are open to the public for very briefly.
I choked on air. Hold on, Daddy. Hold on. Sorry, I got excited now. Like, oh yeah, you talked about being able to visit without an invite because and I took it as a suck of air while I was trying to talk. I just almost died on air. So okay, yes, when they're I remember that because on Pokemon Go you talked about when Pokemon Go podcast when it's built. So you actually traveled with your family to the one in Atlanta.
So
or Washington.
We went to Washington, D.C. So when they first build them or when they do, when they close them down for bringing them up to code or some other huge maintenance, and they're open to the public briefly, and then they are dedicated, and then only members of our church that have a recommend from their local ecclesiastical leaders are able to go in. Now, anybody can go into like the very front lobby.
Okay.
But that's it. I mean, it's not like if someone was actually going to like get violent that anyone would stop them because there's just two old people sitting at the front desk.
No, you can't go in.
But yeah, so it's closed to the public now. You can find all, because they take pictures beforehand of a lot of them, and so you can look it up. What they were specifically saying is that it was from the celestial room in the video.
Okay.
And so that is a very specific room that is meant to symbolize, like it's not actually heaven, obviously, but it's supposed to symbolize heaven. And so the room is entire, like here, I could pull it up and show here on the broadcast. So celestial room. So and for those that are on our podcast, you can Google it for yourself if you'd like to.
Yeah. Grow up, youngin. Do it yourself. Get a job, you freaking hippie.
Yeah, Evie. All right.
So you're saying it symbolizes heaven, so it's just walls of great scotch and good smoked ribs?
Good smoked ribs. Something like that, I guess. All right. So there we go. So here's some pictures of some celestial rooms. Let's see. This one was Philadelphia.
So think,
This
listener
one's
at home who doesn't want to bother
Germany.
Googling it, think if you're watching TV and they're showing like a very expensive hotel room or a very nice fancy building, that's essentially what we're looking at. A lot of white and yellows and really nice looking furniture, and it looks like a room you need to talk like this because it's just that fancy. And yeah, it looks like a high-end dining rooms, conference room kind of thing is what we're scrolling through here. Okay, so
yeah, you're told that while you're in there, if you're gonna talk, you need to whisper. And yeah, there's one of the temples I went to. Where was it? It was in Washington, Richland, Washington. I don't know who was in charge of designing that room, but the acoustics were real bad to where I was sitting
when you
there,
farted, everybody heard it.
we were sitting there and we were whispering, but we could hear the people sitting. I mean, they weren't sitting terribly far away, but if they were whispering, you wouldn't expect to be able to hear them. But the acoustics were such that have you ever been in a room that's a dome where you can hear the people opposite you?
Yeah.
Because of the acoustics? That's how it was. I was like, oh, no, I can hear everything they're saying, even though they're clearly whispering. But yeah, no, so that's the type of furniture that the video showed that were loaded up in a truck, supposedly to be burned. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, simply because I don't think the church would want like just some random person having furniture that had been in a celestial room to end up in a living room.
It's kind of like, okay, for the Southern Baptist Church, right? You had the family Bible, and it's this huge oversized Bible that you're supposed to display in the front, in your entryway of your home or somewhere. It's reverent, right? And it's supposed to have all your history in there. It's passed down by generation. So it's like that. You wouldn't want to donate the family if you're hardcore Southern Baptist, whatever. You would never want to donate the family Bible. If you're Catholic, it'd be your grandmother's rosary, right? You wouldn't want to donate that just to Goodwill and expect it to hold up its reverence. So I kind of get what you're saying. And I kind of thought that, I mean, obviously I thought the guy, I mean, that could be $3,000 furniture.
Well,
but
what the video claimed was that it was $40-something thousand of furniture. I'm like, probably not, but I don't know. I honestly have never
maybe
looked
it was new, but not by the time they go to and of course
not
it was
by the
a
time they replace
hit
it.
piece. Yeah, it was definitely a hit piece. Where it's like, oh, do you believe? But I was like, Joe, tell me a story.
Roll that dice.
Number 6.
Why do I agree to this show?
Waka waka, bad dad jokes.
Who says that?
All right. So a guy goes to his college computer science professor and says, "I'm so sorry. My dog ate my homework." The professor says, "Your dog ate your coding assignment?" The student says, "Took him a couple of bites."
Oh my god. You're if if you, dear listener, and we love all of you to suffer through these jokes, if you could see his face when he tells them, he is the proudest little monkey that found a shiny penny
Oh,
when he tells. Oh, and then, oh my god, you had to go put it in all caps in the chat room.
that's
Joe,
right.
you better, I gotta tell you, get started prepping now. Because you better bring your best, worst dad joke to Dragon Con. Because it's going to be a big live show. We're doing our big live show at Dragon Con coming up in September. I think we're doing Saturday afternoon at 5.
I
Is our
think we
time
should
slot?
open it up to have the audience give their best
Oh,
bad
God.
dad
Joe.
jokes.
Oh, Kurt will be there with us doing this.
Let Daddy decide.
He'll be doing that live at the table with us. Mike might even be there. I haven't heard from Mike in a little bit, but at one point he was definitely talking about being there. And you want to let the audience
Yes,
tell bad dad jokes.
I think it'll be great.
Uh,
And if it goes well, clearly we should make that its an entire own panel. Just bad dad joke session, the whole thing. Have the audience bring their best bad dad joke material for an entire hour.
I'm gonna go with, how about no?
Oh, why not? I know you love them.
Answered your own question. You answered your own question. An hour, Joe. An hour of hearing crap like, it took him a few bites. No, good.
Now, I mean, if
good.
you think it needs to be longer than an hour, one of the 2.5 hour blocks, that's fine.
Oh, I can't even with you anymore.
And if we make it after 10, it could be all kinds of dad jokes. Could be bad uncle jokes.
Oh my god.
What are you nerding out about now?
All right, Joe. We're down to one of my favorite. This is really why I wanted to do this show ever in the first place. We started doing it for our patrons of Pokemon Go podcast, and Joe and I just I wanted it. And Joe's like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome," because everything I say to him sounds awesome. I mean, I love Joe for that. He's great. But it was just like, let's talk about the stuff we're really geeking out about, what other games we're playing, what we're watching, because we like talking about that to each other. Little does our audience know, Joe and I are blacklisters. And I didn't know that about him until we were riding around. Somehow it came up in random conversation. And I think you might be ahead of me at this point because I haven't watched in a little while. But so that kind of started it when I discovered that we're both kind of secretly blacklisters. It was fun. So
he's talking about the TV show Blacklist for anyone who's confused.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Sure.
We're blacklisted all over the South.
There's a lot of churches that won't want me to come. I'm just saying. But what are you nerding out about today?
Oh man. So you gave me a task last time you and I were on air together to come up with the next anime recommendation to give you. And you told me you would definitely watch it because of Demon Slayer. So I thought long and hard, and I know for sure you would love Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh,
now,
stop. Sorry.
I'm
trying to look it up. You can't hear that, but Netflix is trying to run a preview on me when I'm trying to look up Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah, so there is another version that actually came out previous. There's Fullmetal Alchemist just without the Brotherhood. But there's I couldn't find anywhere that's actually streaming it, but they have the same characters and a lot of the same voice actors, but they're separate stories. So what happened is the one that first came out, Fullmetal Alchemist, they got caught up to the source material and then just made up the rest because they didn't want to wait for the
Sure.
source material. The Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, they redid it and kind of skimmed the intro a little bit. They gave you enough that you wouldn't be confused if you were just picking up Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and hadn't watched the previous. But they do give some nods to the other, the one that came first, Fullmetal Alchemist. But great story. Definitely has some darker moments, has a lot of action, and it's got a really good storyline. I think it's only 60 something episodes long. You can watch it on either Hulu or Crunchyroll, and I think Funimation might have it as well. It's awesome. I've watched it multiple times by myself, and also watched it with
Okay.
my wife as well. So
Now, here's the thing. I've never watched anime. I'll definitely check it out. I'm on Netflix.
no, don't watch the live action one.
Done and dusted, baby.
You
That's what I was about to say.
watched it?
I watched it, loved it. Finally got the meme, and I got the meme.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! Now I know why everybody. Oh my.
Yeah.
But here, so yeah,
if you know.
Right.
Like
right.
You didn't even describe it, and anyone who's watched it knows exactly what meme you're talking about.
Dude. But what's interesting is they have the live action movie, right, which I did watch, and I enjoyed it. I thought, not having watched anime, I actually thought it's fairly well done, and it was enjoyable.
I haven't actually, to be fair, I haven't actually watched the live action, so I don't know.
Well, on Netflix they have it. Then they have the live action Full Metal Alchemist, the Revenge of Scar.
Okay.
And it's got to do with glasses with a Scar X on his face, head,
Mhm.
forehead. Then they've got Full Metal Alchemist, live action again, Full Metal Alchemist, the Final Alchemy as well. So there's those, and I might dig into those as well. Of course, Demon Slayer comes up in all this too, as well as stop trying to run. I just wanted it bigger to read it. I don't know what that is. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which definitely looks bizarre. Yeah, and then Brotherhood is fully on Hulu, and on Hulu you have the option of dub or sub. So
Yes.
on every episode, it looks like. So that's pretty cool. What's interesting is on the first episode for dub and sub, they put the same cover art, but every other episode from dub to sub, it changes the cover art as you go.
The thumbnail, yeah,
the little thumbnail. All right, I will definitely give that a watch. I was just telling Zoe the other day that we needed to make some Demon Slayer time, finish up the Entertainment District, and then get into the Swordsmith Village.
Yeah, the Swordsmith Village arc.
All right, so I've got two things for you. One I actually forgot to write, but I was just reminded of it. I think I'm trying to get it right for my brain. I don't think that's quite right. I don't want to look it up on Netflix again because it is Netflix lets run those pre-rolls. But okay, first thing is this game, the DC game, Heroes and Villains. Joe, do you like stuff like match 3 jewels, kind of like Candy Crush, or back in my day it was kind of like not just Bubble Bobble, but do you like the match games where you have to get 3 or more jewels together?
In very, very, very limited stints. Like every now and then, like I have to really be in the mood for it and be like, oh, okay. And I could play it for a little while, and then it's like, all right, that lost all its entertainment value. Bye.
I get that. For playing like Candy Crush, same. I did it for a while. Okay, whatever. There's actually one I really liked. something Mansion. It wasn't Merge Mansion because all the Merge games I don't really play those, but it's before that. But the whole idea was you inherited this plantation manor or whatever, and it's all run down and it's the money pit. If you ever watched that movie, it's the money pit. And so you have to do the jewels thing to get tools or money or something, and you fix up a room. And once you do, it was kind of cool. I did it for a while. Then I also played it's an RPG matching game, and I cannot for the life of me remember the original, which was basically a Dungeons and Dragons style one with a barbarian and all this other, an archer and a rogue and all this stuff. And each one, like say the barbarian is blue and the archer is green and the rogue is red. Well, when you match those jewels, it gives them powers, and then you can trigger your hero. It'll attack your enemy. So you're kind of playing against. And they're not, the computer's not doing matching. It's just the enemies are there. So like, okay, this is a twist on the concept. Marvel did one not that long ago from the same company, or a couple years ago now, I guess. So, as in true fashion, DC is about 8 years to 10 years behind Marvel on how they do things. I'm digging it. It is DC's Heroes and Villains. I saw it on TikTok ad not that long ago, so I'll try it out. It is fully licensed. It is not a knockoff. It is very much you start with Batman because, of course, why wouldn't you start with Batman? Oh, Superman, something happened. I say something because I skipped the stories. I don't really care about the stories. Something happened, and Superman lost his powers. So Batman, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's in the opening. It's in the commercial. They thought somebody somewhere thought this was a great line. Batman, this is Batman, right? Talk to Superman. In the cataclysmic crisis, you lost your powers, but if you bring these 3 jewels together, you'll regain some of your power.
So you're telling me
stupid.
The whole storyline is Superman collecting the family jewels.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, fondling them, shoveling them around, swapping them. But yeah, you start off with
North Pole in the Fortress of Solitude.
The solidarity, Fortress of Solidarity. But yeah, so you start with Batman and Robin, and of course it's very hand-holding with the tutorial, but it's very much that you level them up, you power them up. What else can we do to a character? Oh, multiple stars, right? It goes from 2 stars up to 5. I don't think I've seen a 1 star. No, it looks like 2 is the lowest and 5 is the highest. So you can, the higher the star power, the more powerful they are. Each color matters, right? What's that?
Pokemon did something like that where you powered up a character that helped you and gave you special abilities while you were solving the different puzzles and whatnot.
Yeah, and just like I bet you, because it's the same formula. Once that formula got cracked and people liked it, you can just paste a IP over it, right? And so yellow or green is weak to blue, blue is weak to red, blah blah. These other yellow and purple are weak to each other. Everybody does it a little bit differently, but I'm digging it right now because it's really easy to play. It's quick to play. It's brand new, so they're really throwing out freebies, and it's easier to get your hands on currencies and stuff. So that's been some fun. That's what I've been digging lately.
The only mobile game that I've really been playing lately is Summoner's War, but I've been playing that for
years,
7 years now. And I strongly advise anyone who is not already playing it to not get into it.
Not ever played it.
Well, so the problem is you're not going to catch up to people who have been playing it for years. It's just
that gets to be any game, right? Just about. I left the Marvel game that I played for years with Kurt and Sin, and we did a show about it. And it just got to be where my life was really busy, and it just felt like I really felt like it's a team. And that's the other thing. This game does not require other players. Now you get bonuses if you invite somebody to come play, but I don't have to be on a team with you, Joe. And games like Summoner's War, I'm not sure for Summoner's War specifically, but I know the Marvel one absolutely had to be a part of Alliance if I wanted to do some more rewards and do better stuff. But then I wasn't keeping up with the leveling, and too much. Too much. I want a game that if I miss it for a week, it's fine. It's fine. The other one, the other hotness that's out right now, I am playing the Monopoly Go. It's not like Pokemon Go, even though it sounds like it. It has nothing to do with AR or the real world. It is very much just rolling dice, going around, collecting money. Even describing it sounds stupid, and it probably is. I'm a fiend for anything Monopoly, and I will try. I've played the slot machines both in Vegas and on my phone. I've done every version of Monopoly out there. I played on the Switch. I try it all.
You
It's
think you've
fun.
played every version?
Oh,
My in-laws have different. Well, now, are you talking about the Monopoly board game, or are you like including the Monopoly like card games
all
and
of it.
stuff, like Monopoly Deal, Monopoly card game?
Okay, I haven't gotten to play every Monopoly. So, like
Okay.
the deal and the card games, I've played a bunch of versions of the board game, both that real and digital. But any break off of that, I don't think I've had the opportunity to sit down and mess with.
Okay. Yeah, they've had just so many shoot off ones. My in-laws have 3 card game esque ones and yeah, they like
You,
Monopoly Deal the best, I think, out of them.
well, you know what they don't have? They don't have alcohol tumblers with Monopoly patches inside of them. That I'll put that under Daddy Tell Me a Story because I got a story about that. But so the Monopoly board games, you have some fun memories growing up about that?
Oh yeah, there was
Oh man, that's awesome! Great childhood memories. I've been Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Good night, everybody.
Follow these nerdy dads on social media. Charles at Rock
Son of a-
Podcasting and Joe at Joseph_Ard. wiseandnerdy.com, and as always, they may not be.
Oh, you killed it, murderer.
Kurt. This is why we like toasty. Good night, people. Go directly to jail, Kurt. You do need to do some research on the board. I mean, like YouTube videos.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Because
I just barely got it set up today.
I know. I didn't expect anything. I know. I don't mean this harshly. I didn't expect anything out of you tonight. I know you just texted me yesterday, or the day before, that the cable came and the board
Last
actually
night,
powered up. But yeah, so it was last night. Okay, so yeah, so I know you had to work. You wouldn't have time. But absolutely, that board is super
Had to
powerful.
get ready for a job interview and.
Oh, you saved that one. We're about to record one of the bank episodes. You saved that one. But you might have to download the driver ASIO for all, the number 4. Do your research, but I think you have to get that driver. But once you do, it turns this board into magic for you. And so you use Reaper to record, yeah?
I have Reaper, but I don't often record with it. But yeah.
The different things should be able to pick it up, but basically what that
yeah, you can pick up the different tracks and
it separates it all out, and you can tell. Yes, yeah, and that way then you can hook your. I always hook my headphones to my board, so you can hook you would have to wire it or something. I'm not sure how you. You don't want to monitor.
I've got a wire behind me, and which side? It's this side. I can hook it up here, and then it would come around behind me to the left. But yeah.
But it's worth it because you can hear your own echoes. You can do all that. You can play with the different inputs. It's pretty awesome.
I think I might have I'd have to double check, but I think I might have an extender as well, a headphone jack extension, so that would make it even longer.